like to think that there's an alternate universe where there's tech news every day, and then talking dogs, and the talking dogs can fly.
And it rains cereal.
Yeah, perfect universe. Windows 12 will be supported by Intel's upcoming Meteor Lake platform, according to the most reliable source we have, a deleted tweet. But that tweet was twitten by Leaf Hobby, the same leaker who revealed the full specs of Intel's Xeon chips before they launched. Leaf Hobby claims that Intel's Meteor Lake S desktop platform, which is due to be released this year, will have 20 PCIe Gen 5 lanes. They also, quote, and I quote, support Windows 12 on OS list. Now, obviously, it's a bit early to do a +1 on Windows again, so this is probably just an internal name for some big grand update for Windows 11. But if so, couldn't they have chosen a better name? Why not Windows 11.11, so I can make a wish whenever I boot my PC? You have strange dreams.
Please make it rain cereal.
We may never know what it really is, since both Microsoft and Intel refused to comment on the leak when asked by The Verge. We do know they plan on integrating more AI into future Windows versions, since the head of consumer marketing said as much earlier this week, and big boss Panos Panay said, AI is going to reinvent how you do everything on Windows at CES this year.
Really? Is it gonna reinvent how I look out pensively at the rain?
Yes. I'm inclined to believe him after it completely changed how we use Bing by making us want to use Bing. That was not on my bingo card.
Hey!
It's just been a long time. The European Union is expected to approve Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard, according to early reports. They had to put him through the ringer first, though. Can't just give it to him. Originally, the EU was concerned the deal would be a major blow to competition in PC, console, and cloud gaming, but now the European Commission isn't even expected to require asset sales to approve the buyout, which you normally have to have. That's what I approve every time.
Get your assets out.
Get it.
Back that asset up.
This is more than likely due to the actions the company took just last month, such as announcing a 10-year Call of Duty deal with Nintendo and a deal with Nvidia to bring all of Microsoft's PC releases to GeForce Now. And just last week, Microsoft's Vice Chairman Brad Smith argued in a European hearing that Microsoft's market share in the region's console sector was a mere 20%, while Sony's was 80%, a statement that sounds normal in universes where Nintendo doesn't exist.
The dark ones.
Rude.
Ones without talking dogs.
Yet this argument seems to have worked to move the deal forward despite Sony's disapproval. To add insult to Sony's injury, a ruling in the FTC's case over in America might force the games company to reveal just how much they pay for third-party exclusives for PlayStation. I guess Microsoft's attorneys used the oldest legal argument in the book, a tactic that practiced lawyers refer to as "know you."
Sony should have followed up with, you smell like Updog.
What's up? Oh no! Objection! Adjourned, etc. You know.
I call a mistrial.
And esports have come to the Olympics, sort of. The International Olympic Committee announced the official lineup of games for the Olympic Esports Series 2023, and well, they are certainly games, we think. Hard to tell. The event is a global virtual and simulated sports competition in which anyone can participate, and will culminate in live finals hosted in Singapore. Now, a couple of the games might be recognizable. Gran Turismo's there for motorsports, Just Dance is there for, I guess dancing is Olympic now. But the official game they chose to represent archery is called Tic Tac Bow, a mobile game with about 1,000 downloads. Developed by a Singapore-based studio called Refract Technologies. Now, wouldn't you know it, the founder of the studio is an active commission member of the Global Esports Federation. What a coincidence! It gets even coincidencer, because the official Taekwondo game, Virtual Taekwondo, is also made by Refract, with a little extra fun twist. It's the flagship title for a motion capture console called Axis that was launched on Kickstarter by, who'd have guessed, Refract Technologies. The Axis isn't available for retail purchase either. What about League, you know, like?
You can't jump up in the air and do scissor kicks.
Why not Rocket League, you know? I could join. So yeah, anyone can compete in this global Taekwondo tournament so long as you gave Refract over 500 Singapore dollars last year and the console arrives in time for you to compete. And for you to practice using it, because you probably don't know how to use it. If it doesn't, well, there's always tennis. That's just a free phone app. And now it's time for a special report brought to you by The Ridge. Jacob?
Riley, wallets are meant to keep cards and cash together. But for some, they come with the debilitating side effect, pants bulging. Luckily, some have found a solution.
The Ridge wallet actually saved my life. This thing holds up to 12 cards. I used to have this 2 big bulge. They are so big. I always walk around with this big bulge and people always stare at me, make me really uncomfortable. The Ridge is so thin and it doesn't hurt my butt.
Dennis claims the Ridge wallet helps him walk and sit comfortably, and his RFID blocking technology can even prevent thieves from stealing his personal information.
They have 45-day test drive. If you don't like it, just send it back.
Now that's what I call a glowing recommendation. The Ridge says that pants bulge sufferers can use code LINKED for 10% off and free worldwide shipping. Back to you, Riley.
Thanks, Jacob. All of us here at the studio love hearing you talk about pants. You know, I like to think the number of guys in Five Guys was inspired by the number of Quickbits. There's no way that's true. Meta has cut the price of 2 of their VR headsets. The 256 gig Quest 2 is $70 off, while the 128 gig Quest 2 is the same. It's still $100 more expensive than it was at launch. But what's $100 when you can save $500 on a Quest Pro? Just 4 months after launch, the Quest Pro is now $1,000, which, I mean, is a smaller number than before. Between this price cut and reports that there won't be a successor because the Sony PSVR 2 is so freaking good, I'm sensing Meta didn't sell many Quest Pros. That's what happens when you make things $1,500 that no one wants. Lastpass has revealed more details about the leak of customer data that occurred late last year. It turns out that a DevOps engineer's home computer was hacked through third-party software. The engineer was one of 4 employees with access to the vault, and if Ars Technica is to be believed, their PC was hacked through an exploit in Plex. Imagine if you exposed thousands of people's data just because you wanted to stream all your episodes of Monk starring Tony Shalhoub. Why Monk? It's a good show. The latest TikTok trend, everyone's binging Monk, starring Tony Shalhoub. The newest version of the Steam Deck OS enables ray tracing in Doom Eternal, wow, which runs surprisingly well despite using AMD graphics and being a handheld console. One user appears to have gotten above 30 FPS in the game with ray tracing on, at least while looking directly at the ground. But damn.
That's the best place to look.
Just look at that pool of demon blood glisten. Ooh.
Magnifique.
I wish that was real demon blood on my floor.
Riley, stop.
I need to sleep. Amazon Basics has now entered the computer components market with a CPU air cooler. It's selling on Jeff Bezos' book website for $27, which will look like a great deal when you see it prominently placed on Amazon's marketplace. Yeah, it's easy to be cynical, but you know what? It's got RGB, and it's likely just a rebranded Cooler Master product. What, did you expect Amazon to make one from scratch? Do you think they're made of money?
It's funny, because they are.
They almost literally are. And former FEMA officials are rallying to stop EV manufacturers from removing AM radio from their automobiles, citing its importance as emergency communication. Automakers including Ford and Tesla are removing the old radio standard, with Ford claiming EVs create electromagnetic noise at the same frequencies as AM radio signals, causing buzzing and signal fading.
And you can't drive while you're buzzed.
However, this didn't stop older models from having AM receivers. Also, I don't understand how no AM radio is better than slightly noisier AM radio, but I'm not an engineer.
You're just cute.
I just read the tech news. But you don't have to be an engineer to know we'll have more tech news on Monday. And this time, it will be Monday. Unlike on last Monday when I said, come back on Monday. Is that what happened?
Yes.
And I said that?
Yeah, and I wrote it.
It was like a real Anchorman situation. Just reading that.